Testing, testing. There we go. Learning as you go, right?
That's right. Yeah.
We always do just a pre-startup to let people join in. That's what this is. So we did for mine. Normally my setup at home is it's a whole studio setup, so it's different. This is more of a simplified. We do have like a little intro countdown and everything that I'll start, but there are some like a lot of our members, team members do their own streams. Sean is our manager of customer experience. He does a feedback hour on Thursdays, taking live feedback from the customer. And a while back, I had thrown into one of those AI song generators, like some information, and everything. And now he uses that. It's like feedback hour with Sean, and it's a fun little upbeat thing. So that's now become like his little theme song. Yeah, we've talked about different things. Especially for my show, I do every Thursday. I'm doing like a fun, goofy intro. Because right now it's more of just a countdown intro. But gonna have more of a late night talk show intro. Different B-roll stuff, and like me coming into a studio, and there's some fun ideas. But this one will be more simplified. There we go. We've got okay. We've got a few. So. Okay, and let's testing. Can everybody hear me? You probably can't see me, but how's the audio, everybody? Check that out first. 6x5, that makes no sense. Builders Mark, thank you. All good. Okay, there we go. All good. Now you get to see my face. Lucky you guys. Good morning, everybody. I'm surprised to see people already awake, or you probably should be working and you're probably sitting in the bathroom stall on your phone, and that's okay. The support is appreciated. But we are back at Bosque School in Albuquerque, New Mexico, to follow up on their Maker Lab. For those that don't know what exactly this is, why are we here at this random school in New Mexico, is we worked with Maker Missions to help provide them with updated equipment. They were running some older Ender 3 V2s, I think, a couple of them. We had upgraded them with Bamboo Lab printers. They have 10 new printers that they've been using for, I don't remember now, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months?
Started in the fall is when we started. So like.
Oh, so it's been that long. Why do I think it's only been early this year? See, I lost track of time. So they've had them for a little while now. So we want to come follow up, see exactly what are they doing with those printers, and what have they created? What are their plans with them? And then we have a little bit of surprise. We'll introduce them to somebody we all know and love, and kind of a new project for them to take on as a class. There are 2 robotics classes. This one, of course, today. Then there will be another one tomorrow. So we will be live again tomorrow with that class to introduce them to this project. But at first, I'd like to bring on their teacher, instructor. What do you go by title-wise? Teacher. There you go. And this is Spencer. Here we go. Any side. Oh, actually, and might help if they can hear you here. There you go. You can clip it on the strap or anything there.
Yeah, how about right there?
There you go.
Well, hello.
Yep. Hello. There you go. Flip it around. And this is Spencer. So this is who we've worked with, along with Valerie, who's off camera, and just the entire staff has been super accommodating and appreciative of what we've done. It's always been nice. Me and Spencer have had many talks. I said he helped kind of get everything put together. The 10 printers did have some assembly. We managed that, and everything was really good. But you do a couple classes. So first off, what do you teach? What do you do here?
So what we use the printers for is our 2 robotics classes. We have, this class is mostly robotics 2. These students did robotics last year, the bulk of them. And then the other class is mostly robotics 1. And we previously, robotics was like this. It was, this is the classic, many of your users might know this, the kits. Yeah, that's right. Where we would make a robot car or other robotics device with an Arduino microcontroller. And this one's using the L298N motor driver and a breadboard and ultrasonic sensors. And the printers have allowed us to turn it much more into real engineering, where like now they'll design a chassis. Right now they're using Tinkercad. Later this year they're going to learn Fusion 360.
Yep.
Yeah. So like for instance, this is a chassis a student designed that has a holder for the 9-volt battery and it's got spaces to hold the ultrasonic sensors. And it's designed very specifically for the exact robot that the student wants to make. And I'm very excited that they get to work in CAD almost every class now, because that really adds a real engineering dimension to the class.
And I think that's where like the 3D printing makes it even better. Is it's one thing to design something and see it designed, but to print it and is it really practical or the sizing's right? So are they learning a lot through that of just trial and error?
They are. If Kyle will let me, Kyle, can I borrow the one that you made? So Kyle's a 12th grader who this is a design he was just telling me this morning that he felt this one was still a little too big. The last one was maybe too small, right? Yeah. And so yeah, so they're iterating, you know, they're going through
trial and
designs,
error.
that's right, and getting one that works for them. But so this one's designed that motors can be mounted over here, and then and stuff can be inside on this one. Stuff can be put inside.
And is that what they're doing? They basically, rather than having the same cookie cutter kit, they're kind of, like you said, making it a modular system to
that's right,
incorporate what they need.
It's whatever they want. This first project, they're making a robot car, but as the year goes on, it's just more and more stuff. And as they learn new CAD skills, they've been allowed and encouraged to design other things too, like simple toys or tchotchkes or whatever. It's whenever they learn a new CAD skill, they're invited to print a design, you know. And so
it's awesome. Now, so of course, from design to print is one awesome iteration with 3D printing. Is there anything else you've done with them outside of the robotics class, or you had some ideas for like a makerspace?
Well, and
so to an extent,
the middle school STEAM program is right now they're in the early stages of this, but they're planning to do a big integration with the art classes, where the middle school students will learn enough about CAD design that they can make textures that they can then 3D print and take to art class.
I want to reiterate, middle school students.
Middle school students, that's right.
Crazy.
So this will be like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And they'll use those textures to texture ceramics, so that when
and get a whole new design element to what they're doing.
That's right, and that's just of course step one. The middle school STEAM program has visions for other ways to do this too, like thinking about mixing art and math with their design, and
so many things good. So now I have the printers. I think I know the answer, but I'll ask it anyway. I have the printers that have been provided. Have they help with the workflow, the efficiency, and everything that you're doing, compared to nothing against the printers you had before, but what you had before?
It's transformative. Yeah, the class this year has lots of CAD, lots of printing. Last year there was much less of both of that. Last year was much more the classic acrylic kits, and a little bit of printing, because it would be a design and then it would run your print and then we'd come back the next morning and see how it turned out. Whereas now there's lots of printers going. Typically, I'll have any given day at the end of class, we'll have 5 or 6 printers running. Yeah,
like I said, you're not waiting till the next day, or the speed is slightly increased.
That's right, and just the volume, because of your generosity with all these printers we've had. Now we can, like at the end of a typical class, I'll have 6 things that are running that they'll pick up the next class.
So now, of course, we were limited on time last time that we were here. Excuse me for this weekend event. The voice is mostly gone, but they got a kind of a little taste of why we're here. So once we left and once they were able to really start using them, did you see delight in their eyes, or
I think so.
Impressed,
yes,
with what they did?
There is. I don't have the parts here. We've got in one of the other sections, we've got a group that's trying their hardest to build a drone, a flying drone that's motorized. And it's there's lots of delight as they try. Nothing has worked yet, but
they continue to do
that's
it.
Right. They continue to iterate. Yes, and there's lots of excitement when they see new things come off the printer. Yeah.
So now I know one thing. I left some things printing. I think some keychains, maybe some whistles. Did anybody get in trouble with the whistles?
I don't know if we got in trouble. Those actually were very popular during the Bosque summer program. Those whistles.
Oh, did you print some more?
Yes.
Okay.
We have younger kids here in the summer, and that was. Maybe a little bit of teacher regret that those were allowed. But,
So that is, for those that don't know, is of course when we set up everything, kind of afterwards, I think Spencer had to go, and I was kind of closing up shop here, just finalizing some prints on the printers, making sure everything was good. I decided on a couple of them to leave them with some gifts of it was a pre-design that was loaded into them, but a flute whistle thing. I'm sure very. I haven't actually printed one myself, but I'm sure a very annoying high pitch.
It's a lovely sound.
Yeah. Beautiful music. It's
That's
actually
right.
been incorporated into their music. Setup.
We did in the summer program is we have kids like 4th and 5th graders, and we incorporated that into what we were doing. It was STEM with some really awful music.
There you go.
Yes.
So now, of course, talk about what you guys have done with it. It's helped out efficiency. What are the overall plans of what you've been working on, what you plan to utilize all the printers for?
So as they get better with CAD, it's really kind of a sky's the limit sort of vision. So next semester, we make robots for a BattleBot contest.
Okay.
And these advanced students actually are going to get smaller than they've done before. Last year, they made robots maybe about this size. This year, they are going to make 150-gram ant weight bots.
Plastic ants?
That's right.
Yep.
And so that's going to be a lot of challenge for them to get their electronics down to that size, but they're going to think a lot about the 3D print design also of how can we keep the weight down? What kind of designs can we think of that'll force us to make this how we want? But then beyond that, as they get better at CAD, because we're going to introduce Fusion 360 next month. So they'll be able to get step up from some of the stuff you can do with Tinkercad. I'd love it if they were thinking about like gear assemblies, where now you're getting down to designing to the millimeter of how you want it to
absolutely
be.
yeah, fitment and everything else, and that's one thing too, especially what I've seen working with a ton of robotics teams is not just the design, the fitment, everything too, but how you're going to print it, because how those layers are printed, some they can cause weak points, things like that. So there's a lot of thought process that it's interesting to see how different people battle that. So I think you'll see that, especially with more than one person in the class. You're going to see different designs, different ways of doing things. Some will fail, some won't. But do you have a set, like, does each student do their own robot, or do you have set up teams like per class?
They are allowed to work in teams or on their own. This year we have a couple 2-person teams and many people working on their own. And I really think the printers have encouraged people to be like, we can work together, but I also want to build my own robot because
they're faster and they can actually get the pieces.
That's
out.
right. They get things done, and there's just so much. There's so many colors and printers and. Yeah.
So now, as the teacher yourself, have you had a favorite filament that you've worked with, whether material, color, or?
We have been. There's a lot we haven't even put on the printers yet. This dark blue, which you gave us several spools of, has always turned out nice, I thought. And so we've been doing a lot with
the school colors.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
I think that's when we planned. I think I sent you a majority blue and white, and then some mix of colors. So good. It's worked out. I've got some prints that I've brought that will introduce that utilizes those colors too, and I think they turned out, like you said. Of course, it's probably make your prints well, but now have you messed with like the silks, and have you like kind of seen the difference between each material on printing things? And those silks don't have much of a structural use; it's more of just let's look pretty. But have you used them in certain ways?
We haven't really played too much with structural stuff. We've played with multicolor. We
gradient and
that's right, gradient multicolor. But we haven't. We're just getting into it. Actually, there's so much for us to get into. I'm excited.
And this design, was that one downloaded or was that one created?
This was created, but it wasn't created by one of my robotics students. It was created by someone who was helping me this summer get this classroom redesigned.
So it's helping out outside of the class.
That's right.
So
this is actually a student at New Mexico State right now who designed this one.
Awesome. Yeah. So now have the students, of course, for here it's more learning the STEM type stuff, the robotics, the cars. Have you seen them go on their own of like trying to create different things or silly things or useful things?
I'm getting all sorts of CAD designs from them now that are fun, and sometimes they're taking stuff home. It's just and some of them are more into the CAD than others. Yep. Some are really into the electronics, and some are into the CAD. And but yeah, there's more and more creative stuff coming to me every week as their skills grow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, of course, like I said, we're going to introduce a project and introduce you to a guest here in just a moment. I wanted to see if the class does anybody want to come to camera and let me know whether you have a favorite print that you've done, a favorite model that you've seen, or even a favorite filament. Don't be shy. Everybody's thinking of answering, but nobody wants to come to the camera. Just remember, there's nobody watching right now. There's 0 people. It's just a camera. Everybody too shy.
I don't have the helmet anymore. Amadeo printed a very funny. It didn't turn out, I think, how he wanted, but it was very amusing to us. Yeah, is it in there?
In my box.
Okay, so we even have it here. We'll see it.
I got a helmet and a football.
And this is a design you made? Is this in Tinkercad?
Yeah, I made this in Tinkercad. It's a little wonky.
This was like day one
somewhere.
Yeah? Yes, this was like day one. Yeah.
So this is the very first thing you've even mocked up in 3D. Okay.
So
Okay, so I'll get a little bit close. So it is a football and it is a helmet, which it is. I mean, it's in all intents and purposes, it's actually really well. The only difference is that the skew, the skew might be off just a tad bit. But now with that base design, have you went back and messed with it yet?
Not yet. I might have to go back and try to fix it.
So honestly, for a first thing, and I'm not just saying this to be nice, is it's all right. It's all there. It's just it looks like you had a good model, and then you just kind of skewed each corner.
Yeah, I just messed it up.
So no, very well done. No, I'd be very proud of that. Like I said, especially as no background in 3D modeling or anything.
No, nothing. Yeah, that was really the first time.
No, that's something to be embarrassed about. That's I'll tell you now, as I've been 3D printing for 8 years, I dabble in modeling. I'm not super creative in that aspect. That's better than anything that I've created. I can throw some squares and circles together and make a bracket or something, but that's about it.
So this is a student design that the attempt is to make the robot small
And custom.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like the kid he was showing, but this is where the customization comes into play. Bobbert is that the
I don't know where Bobbert's. I don't know what Bobbert.
It's just a fun name. So yeah, so that's where they get that customization. It's not just the name on there, but it is a structure, a chassis to hold the electronics. And yeah, I mean that's a great start to build on from there. And the customization, I think, is where they're really going to have fun, especially with the project that we introduce here in a little bit. Is the customization. You guys will recognize it. You'll probably, some of you know. I kind of introduced it to some of the community. But like I said, we'll introduce that in a moment. I'll wait for Spencer to get a second here. Was he looking for anything else?
Sure. Let's see. Well, it's. So you can see here iterations of simple designs too that are like,
it's all
trying
about
out
the
different
fitment
sizes and with different battery packs.
Yep, so yeah, so there's and this is another one of the kit. Rather than having to have that cut acrylic, it's not as easy to cut acrylic and get a custom shape and everything there, where this you can design, print it out, change it, print it out again.
And sometimes we do have like things where we learn about why didn't this print turn out quite how we wanted.
Yep. So yeah, how to use supports and like I said, orientation of what's best. So yeah, and that's what's nice with, like you said, is these printers being faster is you learn quicker. You don't have to wait 24 plus hours to find out, okay, nope, I messed that one setting up. So no, it is awesome to see what they've created. Like I said, I'm sure you're going to be creating more and more because this is just really I want to say, is it the second year and a half, or?
Well, of the program, it's the second year of the program. These printers got launched for us in September, and here we are in October now. So I guess it was late August is when we launched these printers in the class. So they're just 6 weeks in so far. So there's a lot. There's rapid improvement.
Well, like you said, they're already working in Tinkercad, obviously.
Yes.
And then, like I said, you're going to introduce them to Fusion or SolidWorks, and that's even more advanced. And that's where I think you'll of course see is they're going to be able to do more complex stuff. Tinkercad is amazing, can do awesome stuff, but SolidWorks is a little bit easier.
That's right. And it's actually we're going to do Fusion for Robotics 2, and then SolidWorks is aspiration for Robotics 3.
Okay, awesome. So the goal is how many classes total, or
right now there's 2, but we'll see what next year holds.
Okay. And then level wise is Robotics 3, is that like the senior year of finalization?
It's so right now we only started offering this iteration of robotics last year, so we're only on year 2 is even available to students. But right now in this class we have a couple 10th and 11th graders, and so they could keep going, and then next year we will offer a year 3 that would be like more advanced CAD, more advanced 3D applications, because they've been doing it for a year now. They'll be well versed and wanting to create more things. So now of course with the students, your classes are probably always growing. I know 9:30, 9:35.
Okay, so cool. Is of course classes I'm sure are growing. Hopefully you'll get more people interested in it. And I've heard maybe murmurs of like a foreign exchange program you've had maybe. And I'd like to introduce maybe the first candidate of that program, none other than Mr. Sam Prentice himself.
How are you doing?
Let me make mine a mobile mic.
I might be like 30 years too late, I think.
Have you not seen 21 Jump Street?
I guess so.
Yeah, there you go. You might be able to pass as a senior-ish.
Young complexion. So this is my first time here, obviously, and you've got a lot of printers in here, and I don't think you guys really appreciate or can appreciate that I had nothing when I first started out. So we didn't have anything like this in school. Barely we had a computer. So I think the fundamentals here is learning CAD. I think is going to be really, really important. moving forward, because I think that's the future.
Yeah.
Being able to have that as a fundamental skill is going to be super important. But of course, my background is robots, so
A good fit.
yeah, exactly,
Crazy
exactly.
how that works.
So my background was, although I'm a YouTube now, although it's sometimes a bit of a dirty word, I worked at Pinewood Studios working on the Star Wars movies, and we built R2D2s for the creatures department that ended up being on the film. I was in the film controlling the robots, which was super cool, and then we did all the press junkets, red carpet events, interviews with various actors and actresses and stuff. And now I'm traveling around the world doing YouTube. So in the 3D printing space. So we got a project here, which is basically a battle racer. And the whole energy behind that was always about STEM. So we're really excited to bring that and leave you with some kits. We're going to work on some kits. We're probably going to have a little battle as well, probably tomorrow. But we've got plenty of printers here to be starting the work on. So hopefully we'll be in a good space here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yep. So of course, like you said, there's the battle racers. Of course, community. You know what the normal name is, but yeah, we've got some kits. We're going to leave them with Spencer. Will be working with his classes to build those. I know there's always been some ideas of extending that project into other things or what that kit can be used for. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it can be adapted to pretty much anything with 2 wheels, 4 wheels. And, seeing what I'm seeing here, I noticed you've got some motors over there, and I was like, they would definitely go in a baby R2. So maybe we could look at doing something like that while we're here as well.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
could be fun.
That'd be awesome.
Could be fun.
So yeah, so with that, like I said, we do have 2 classes. We are limited on time. We just still have a little bit of time here, so we'll maybe show off some of the designs. With tomorrow's build, we don't have the time to completely build a battle racer from top to bottom. So we are going to have the bottoms, which actually come from our events, but we have some customized tops, which actually I'll grab here in just a moment. You'll hear me, so you won't see me, but you're going to hear me. Is we've customized customized some things for them. Their colors for the school are, I don't know if it's technically navy blue and white.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, with that, you got to have a custom death racer. Sorry, battle racer they are the Bosque School Bobcats, and you'll see there. Now, if you guys recognize, you've seen the battle racers. These are the side panels. So they're going to have customization. The students from there, since they are, I'm learning as we're coming in of what they are doing with design is, you guys have seen the heads are usually like a robot figure there. They can do a bobcat. Now talk with Valerie and everything for some fun ideas. Spencer can work with them. They can do their own customization. The plus side with those heads, those come off really easy, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's on a kill switch. So ultimately, when you knock the head off, the robot disables itself. You've got to put the head back on in order to resume the play. But some of the events, this started off with 6 little robots. It was a silly idea. I thought it was going to do one event, and now we're into like year 4, and we finished a race this past weekend, and we changed up the game a little bit. The one prior to that, we had 85 racers, and it was carnage. So it was really, really interesting kind of way to do things. But we prize out things like 3D printers, filament, and various other things. So people have an incentive to build these things. But of course, being that it's 3D printed, once it's broken, you can reprint the parts or gloop the parts or hang it. People do a race on a Saturday and then they will race on a Sunday, and you find in the mornings they're all gluing things up and reprinting stuff overnight. So it's an interesting project. But I think you'll be interested in some of the bigger stuff we do as well. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So yeah, and with that, like I said, with the classes, of course, staggered in days is we might not be able to have it on stream, but the idea is they'll have 2 battle racers that are essentially built by each class, and maybe we can get some recording or something from Spencer if they have class versus class, and are both classes the same age, same grades?
Similar enough.
Okay, close enough. So there will be some rivalry and some some good intense battling there. But I said with that is tomorrow the class is at what time?
9 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow.
9 a.m. Mountain Time. So you'll see us go live probably about 15 minutes after that. So like I said, with that, it's going to be kind of a reintroduction of the battle racers to the class. And then again, the building of them, getting them all racing. We'll probably have that class kind of do an internal battle themselves. But essentially, like I said, is they'll be given the tools. We'll work with Spencer kind of outside of things to understand it a little bit better, so that way he can do a great job of doing what he does, is teaching. And then, like I said, from there is not just building it to have fun, but building it to understand and get that STEM related information of how everything works. You'll see some cool inner workings, especially that essentially everything is 3D printed other than the electronics. And that's
Yeah.
where, Sam and the team that put all that together did an amazing job. There's been iterations. It'd be interesting to see. We've seen community kind of modify their own, customize their own, especially as they work with CAD and everything else. It's going to be interesting what they can come up with, especially if they really get into it. If they got a favorite cartoon or whatever. We've seen Homer in a snowplow. We've seen Barbie on an all pink get up. We've seen
Back to
the
the Future
Back to the
races,
Future,
there's- yeah.
Batmobile.
Yeah.
I mean, that anything you can think of that's iconic, we've seen, and community members. It's not like these companies that are putting money into design and all that. These are people that are just passionate about the project. They want to look cool, but they also want to win filament. They want to win some prizes. So like I said, I think there'll be some cool things you can do with that. And again, just to increase that STEM learning.
Mhm.
So is there any questions you have on that or anything that you're looking forward to with that project?
Well, I'm super excited to introduce a new kind of robot to them, especially with expert help. I think that will. It's
Yeah, we
raising
called
the
you an
level of the
expert.
class.
Expert.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
I wouldn't go quite that far.
Well, I mean, you are a master at work.
Apparently so. Yeah, that's what it says in the videos, right?
That's what it says. Yeah. So other than that, like I said, what we can do is, I don't know, we're kind of limited on time. I don't know. Is there anything stream worthy that we could do with the kit? Maybe just kind of show it off and show it to the students.
Sure.
Kind of what it
Do you
is.
want me to grab the face.
Yeah. Yep. So of course, like I said, a lot of you that are watching, you know what these are. You've seen them, whether you've been to the events, you've seen Sam's videos, multiple of them, and many other people's videos of the battle racers. So now these students, I don't think they have. So kind of an introduction to that. But kind of show them what they're made of, what exactly do they consist of, what is there to it. And again, the idea from here has always been not just to have battle racers and have fun and give away some awesome prizes at these events, but it is that STEM learning. And again, these kids are already doing cool things. They already have that base knowledge. So it's going to be very interesting to see where they might take it from here. Like I said, and then we're going to always do our best to work with the awesome people here at Bosque School to help, support that, help out with whether it be support and kind of getting these built. Sometimes there can be some learning curve to some parts. But again, we have a master at work and we have a guy that pretends he knows what he's doing. So they got a good support team there.
So what we got here ultimately is a track drive robot. Again, like you said, it's all 3D printing. You stood right in front of the camera. I thought you were a professional.
I'm not.
Professional string
No,
man.
no. I said I'm here holding the mic.
So of course the idea is here we have a motor with a gearbox inside of it that then connects into a 3D printed gear, and the gear basically turns this wheel. The wheel then ultimately has the TPU around it. We put that together with pins so you can pull them out and modify them and change them. But ultimately it's a tank. And then on top of this, you then have a head. And the idea on the back, there's a boom with a servo in it. And the idea is to take off the head. It's more like medieval jousting. So that's kind of the idea. But if you look here, obviously that's where the gearing is.
Yeah,
You just see inside of that.
this is fun.
It's pretty good. Again, TPU, this is all 3D printed. And we've got some larger versions of these as well. We've got the we've got the Racer XLs, which are probably 8 or 9 times the size. And one of the big issues you have is scale. It doesn't always scale particularly well. So if you make something big, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the torque, and you're not going to get various other things like that. But torque and speed are pretty important with these things to get them around. But if you're good with, I thought he was talking on this then, sorry. If you're good with RC and you know how to kind of move yourself around the sticks, this is quite an interesting, there's tactics as well we're finding.
Okay.
But there'll be a servo on the back and that will swing left and right. The idea is you swing the servo and you've got to try and take the head off. And there's a kill switch just inside, and once that goes, it shuts down the robot.
That's
so
very
you've
fun.
got to pop your head back on again. So it's good fun, but it's really good fun. And as I said before, the setup you have here is really cool.
Yes.
I didn't know what to expect, because I was like, okay, what have they got? How are they printing? But this is an ideal space for stuff like that. Normally for me, I'm in a small room with 100 printers, and I'm trying to get around stuff, and it's a bit of a nightmare. But this has been a bit of a labour of love. There's lots of people inside of this that have basically put this together and iterated on the designs, as Joel said, and we're on version 2 of the kit now. So you can buy the kit, print the parts, and come along and race. So it's all pretty easy. Yeah. So
Hopefully, you guys will have fun with
just waiting for Joel now.
A huge success with that.
Are you ready, Joel?
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Oh, we're still live.
Yeah, we're still live.
Oh,
We're still doing it.
hey, I'm Joel. So yeah, I wasn't even listening to what you guys. So you kind of introduced them to the motion system and the base and everything.
That's it.
And then I said you guys have seen this is going to be the Piranha model. So it's the latest iteration of the build. Again, there's some customization with the side panels. Other than that, it's just color from there. Hopefully, we'll see him maybe create a cool new head. A lot of things you can either remix or design from scratch. Yeah, I think it's going to be
You might
awesome.
even find if you've done anything with robot heads or anything, maybe you have something already, and we can merge that into an STL.
We could use the football helmet.
I was saying, I know somebody that's got a helmet that can go onto it.
Yeah,
Do we still have
So
to
yes.
put it away?
I was over there.
Oh, you didn't get to see it up close. Yes, I said legitly.
Did we?
I'm being
Did we put it away? Here it is. All right. Oop! I dropped the football.
again. All the components are there. Yeah. At least the football's solid. Yeah.
Yes, the football. So I don't know if one of these could be the head.
We could do the heads. But would we print it like this? We could rework that maybe. Yeah, we could definitely work that. Sit on top.
It might even have the scales right. It might even just go right
It might
on
just-
top of
it
the
might just
head.
drop straight on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
So there we go. It might be able to already incorporate your design. Well, from there, like I said, it's like I said, you can always say, make iterations, modify from there. But I'm being honest, as the components and everything are there. That's far better,
That'll work.
far better than what I would do.
Definitely work, definitely.
I could make the football probably ish, and it'd probably be about the same SKU. So hats off to you on that. Now with that, like I said, your class is going to be wrapping up, so I'll kind of wrap this thing up. But other than that, like since you've had these, what has been like kind of have you had any memorable moments or anything that you've really liked to see, like a specific thing that's been either done with them or that what it's allowed you to do?
When the cool chassis are coming together, that's been my favorite prints. Like the blue one that Kyle had that we showed you. I'm really happy to see how that one turned out. And the kids have been building like fun things too. There was somebody printed out a snap together action figure that was
it articulating or was it Dummy 13?
It may have been. I don't know. Yeah.
Kind of like a mannequin looking thing.
And what was fun was all the different colors. They used lots of different colors so that it turned out really
customization
cool.
And
yeah.
Have you seen? Of course, you did that multicolor. Have you utilized that much yet, or have you kind of more gotten used to the printers
we've been
themselves?
primarily doing single color on the small machines. Although it's really is we're just building up. We're starting basic and we're building into more advanced.
Oh yeah,
applications
and they're new tools, and like you
That's
said,
right.
it's still now that they're capable of faster prints and capable of better prints. It's kind of a little bit of learning of again how to orient things and what can it really do. And
That's right.
I think as you said earlier, and I always tell people, as cliche as it sounds, the sky really is the limit. Especially with kids and the creativity that the younger minds have, things that we wouldn't never come up with. We might be more like, okay, we're going to go base ideas. They're going to take it amazing places. And you guys have had amazing, bright students. I've witnessed that firsthand last time I was here. So it is going to be very awesome to see what you guys come up
I'm
with.
excited with.
So I thank you very much. I'm going to close this up and then we'll let the class dismiss here soon. But that is it for today's stream. Like I said, we will be back here tomorrow with another class. We'll get a little bit more closer introduction to the battle racers. And again, the idea is if we're quick enough and efficient enough, we'll have 2 battle racers finished. That way we can kind of have some fun on stream, maybe take some wagers. We'll see what happens there. Maybe we'll have some prizes. Polymaker likes to give stuff away. Last time I raced, which I don't know if that individual is here. I can't remember what his name was. Jonathan?
He'll be here tomorrow.
He'll be here tomorrow. Okay, so he's my nemesis. He's the one that almost beat me and then putting together a printer, which shouldn't have happened because he's never had experience, and I've had a lot of experience. So he did very well. So who knows? Maybe we'll have a competition, me versus him, along with the class versus the class. So definitely come back tomorrow. We appreciate everybody's support, and we will see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.